Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the British Tier 10 tank destroyer, the FV4005. Now this is one of three tank destroyers that you can get. The other two are the Death Star and the Badger. And this one recently received a buff. So what did they buff about this tank? Well, they buffed the accuracy during movement and rotation from 0.32 to 0.28, turret rotation speed from 12 to 16, and replaced the engine, so they made it go from 650 horsepower to 950. Now, the two that kind of help the tank is the turret rotation buff and the engine buff, because the engine power means that this tank's just that little bit more manoeuvrable, and by a little bit more manoeuvrable, it just means that it hits its top speed of 34 to 35 a little bit better than it used to, pretty much. And the turret rotation speed as well, from 12 to 16, is definitely noticeable, because 12 is very, very slow. And 16 is still slow. It's still very, very slow. But it's just that little bit quicker. Now, with the buffs that they did, this tank still, for me, isn't as good as the Death Star. I think the Death Star is still a better version of the 183 gun, because its mobility is pretty much the same. The accuracy on the gun is worse technically, but, you know, 6.0 accuracy. Oh, that was a dirty shot into that bat chat. I'm so sorry, bat chat. Low roll, though, 915. Anyway, yeah, sorry. And for me, I would have buffed the top speed of the tank as well. So instead of being 35, I would have given it 40, had that extra horsepower, and that meant that it could go at 40 kilometers an hour, and that meant that, you know, it's got that speed difference over the Death Star. Because the Death Star at the minute goes pretty much the same speed, near enough. It's like 1 or 2 kilometers an hour slower. And not having that fat, heshable turret, or H-eable turret even, just helps the Death Star so much more than this tank. Obviously with the RNG change that they did recently as well, making it plus 20, minus 20, that's also buffed this tank. To be honest, that's probably buffed this tank more than the buffs that they gave it. Because instead of hitting people with 1450 Hesh and rolling for 1200, as we roll for 1282 to finish off the TVP, and rolling for like 1100, 1200, which was a regular thing, and it was very annoying. It was like, oh, I've got 1450 alpha. No, you had like 1200. It was painful. Now, you're pempy with people with a Hesh, and you roll for like 1500, 13, 14, 15, 16. You know, you'll roll quite regularly for those instead of the extreme low roll. And it just meant that you weren't a Jagdpanzer with, you know, with a big H-E-ball turret, pretty much. And it just, yeah, it's buffed the tank tremendously, having that extra ability to roll better. So, yeah, in terms of the crew, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Trap Mechanic, and Rapid Aim. Now, I run Rapid Aim because, obviously, the turret rotation is slow, and making it that, I think it's 10% quicker, helpful. All the other gun perks, obviously, because it's a 183, it's got 0.38 accuracy at base, which is pretty good for the 183, but it still wants all the help it can get, especially when it's not got the best dispersions. Even with the 0.28, that's still fairly bad dispersion. So, yeah, that's why I run all those. So, we're on Pilsen anyway, and we've managed to do 3.3k damage, and we're just looking for shots at this IS-7. Now, obviously, this IS-7 can poke out around this corner, be hull down, and basically, I can't do much about him, but obviously, I can just lob Hesh at him. If I lob Hesh at him, I'm going to do, like, you know, probably 400 or 500 damage to him in splash. Easy. So I don't have to worry about actually penning the guy, but this is where we've got to be patient, because we've just got to wait for them to make the mistakes. Now, unfortunately, we didn't spot the heavy tank as it moved up. We did spot the light tank because we moved out from behind this train, but we're still watching for this IS-7. And I want to hit this IS-7 and get rid of him, to be honest. But this Scorpion G pulls out. Good night, Sonny Boy Jim Bob. Goodbye. He's gone. Runs 4K. This 13105 is poked out, and it's like, oh, he's bad news, because if he's got a full clip, especially when we're reloading, he can clip me out, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm just looking, and I'm thinking, is he still there? I wonder. So it's like, okay, the heavy tank's there, I get spotted, I'm still detected, so I'm thinking, you know what, okay, I'm going to pop a blind shot. Just as I pop the blind shot with the AP, He gets spotted, but the IS-7 goes, "Get down, Mr. President," and saves him. So we don't get shot on the 13105, who was the danger. We end up penning the IS-7 for 1200 and something, with AP, by the way. That's a big high roll. And set him on fire. Drama. But now the 13105 is still there. We've got the Hesh loaded because he's only got 200 health, so we only actually have to splash him to kill him. We finish off the 13105, and now there's only 5 tanks left on the enemy team. In fact, one just got shut down, so now there's only 4 if you discount artillery. There's still the IS-7 that's in front of us. There's another TD that's round that corner, so I'm just looking round the corner to make sure that they're not poking out. And we're now going to just have to wait again because we can't be too aggressive. We've got no health. And I'm just hoping that the IS-7 will pull out and give me a free shot at him with Hesh. But then I decided, you know what, this guy is too preoccupied with my team on the 9 line. And there's not really anyone behind me, so I better turn around and see about shooting the guys that were spotted down the JK. And just as I do, this FV4005 gets spotted. And he's behind all the Hetzer wrecks, and I think, you know what, I'm just going to try and pop a shot. But unfortunately, we missed. I mean, obviously, we've not got an accurate gun. That was a hope. That was basically a hit and hope shot, and we didn't hit it. And we've really got to thread the needle to get the shell through these gaps. And I'm thinking, you know, to be honest, at this point, I was like, you know, I want this meme. I want to get this shot through this tight gap and hit him. Nope, we hit the wrecks again. We don't actually hit the FV4005. Very, very sad. We don't get the meme. He's getting shot now by my friends on the 9 line, which means he might pull back and give us a free shot, which would be great. But we're just trying to find the gap again through that Hetzer wall. We find it, we fire, we hit the Hetzers again. RNG gods, please, why do you defy me? Just let me hit this guy. So unfortunately we're not hitting him. It's like, okay, we're going to pull forward now. We bounce him there, which is lucky. And because he can get shots at us, I decided, you know what, okay, I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go through the hangar. And by going through the hangar, I can probably get a shot at his back end, which we have. We slap the shot in, finish off the UDES. Now there's only the machine and the artillery to get. And we're just going to drive after them now and hope for the best that we can get to them. Because I want the damage. I can pen this guy with AP, I can pen this guy with Hesh. I can overmatch this guy no matter what if I fire AP. I can overmatch him on his side easily. He can be straight on and I can still pen him. So we drive around the corner, slap the shot into his side, 1221. Again, this is where this RNG buff helps even the AP rounds. Because beforehand, that was an 1100, well, it is an 1100 AP round. We probably would have rolled for like 900 consistently. And that would have been really annoying. But 1200, that was a bit of a high roll. And we finished off that game with 5 kills, 7k damage, 560 blocked somehow. Ace tanker, high caliber, 1555 base XP, and a really nice game for the FV4005. And like I say, the changes to the RNG mechanics definitely are a big thing for this tank. It breathed new life. It's just like a breath of fresh air. It breathed new life into it for me because I used to play the FV4005 quite a bit. The FV4005 was the one that, well, it was the first 183 that I unlocked. And I loved it because it was a big Hesh monster, right? You had 1750 damage, you had 270 pen. It was a big, fat meme. You could get punished a lot, though, in it. Because obviously back in the day when I used to play it, when I first unlocked it, it had 5 degrees of gun depression. And even worse engine power. And it was, yeah, not great, to be honest. It was horrible, because you hit any kind of ridgeline, especially with how tall you are, and you couldn't do anything. Oh, there's a Waffle Panzer IV. Snapshots, 1422. Yes! That's what we want. Anyway, yeah, so you'd hit a ridgeline and you couldn't do anything. But now, obviously, with the buff it got ages ago, where you get 10 degrees of gun depression, it was a lot nicer. And then they nerfed it by removing the 1750 alpha and put it down to 420. 1450, sorry, not 420. They put that down to 1450. They nerfed the pen from 270 to 240 on the Hesh. And it just killed it, especially with the RNG changes that 6.0 brought and dropped the... It just killed it for me, and I just basically never played it after 6.0. It was like, what's the point, you know? But now, it's definitely a lot more worth playing, because you do get the rolls, and that's nice. And obviously, the 6.0 accuracy helps the tank be more accurate than it used to be anyway. So we drive around this corner. We're looking at this IS-4. I'm thinking, right, well, I've got Hesh, right? Why not fire the Hesh at this guy? Why not slam it straight across? Because I don't have to worry about aiming. Get it in, 631. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, in terms of equipment that I actually run on this tank, which is a good point, I want to run rammer, the advanced reload, and optics. Now, obviously, advanced reload, because I can just flick between the Hesh and the AP. I don't have to worry about reloading. Now, and that's really helpful. Now, we're making a mistake here, by the way, in the fact that we stay out for that T-57 Heavy. He was blind for... Oh, that pen was beautiful anyway. He stays out for us to get a shot into his turret. But the fact is, we stay out and feed him most of our hit points because he was blind firing us and he knew we were there. So that was a bad mistake doing that. And we shouldn't have risked it for that. We should have just gone, okay, no, he's unloading. Let's let him do that and then pull back. But we did get a big 1400 slap into him, so... swings and roundabouts. We get a nice shot into the E75 side there. Through the gap in that building, which was nice. We're still spotted though, so I can't move from this position because the guys on the hill will hurt us, and I don't want that at all. There's still the IS-4 down there that's giving our team jip. So it's like, well, get the Hesh in. We don't have to worry about penning him. Let's just slap the shot in, finish him off for 500, and we get rid of the problem for our team that's down there. Now, we had to get rid of that guy because he was stopping my team from doing anything on this flank. And he probably would have ended up killing him because he had a god tier position for the IS-4 there where it was fully hull down. They couldn't see anything of him, really. The only thing that would have done stuff to him is Hesh. So we pull around the corner. There's the FV4005. We chance it, slap the Hesh round in for 1295. It's large low roll, but it's fine. We get that shot into him without retaliation, which is great. And now I turn around and I'm just going to prep myself to come out the other side. Because they might expect me to come back out that side where I've just fired at the FV4005. And it's like, no, okay, I'm going to drive out this way. No, I kind of expected to put around the corner and get spotted, but I didn't. We've still got Hesh in. We slapped the shot into the side of his turret. 1283 though, another low roll. Oh, it's painful. Obviously... like I said, back in the day with 1750 Alpha, that would have been an extreme low roll. And we probably would have been hitting these guys for like 1600 roundabouts, more than likely. Which kind of makes it a little bit sad nowadays. I suppose it's better for the game, to be honest, to have the 1450 over 1750, because you could splash people. You didn't have to worry about it. You could splash people, like we were splashing the IS-4, right, for like 500. Before the changes to the Alpha on this tank, we probably would have been splashing him for like 800-900, you know. So it's probably better for the game that they changed that, but it just hurts the FV4005, especially when it doesn't have too much over the Death Star in terms of, well, overall anything. So right now I'm just looking for a shot through this gap, and I'm hoping that because where our guys are fighting now at J9, that someone will cross this gap in front and I'll be able to get a cheeky shot into their side. But unfortunately, as you're going to see, we're just going to sit here for far too long, waiting for a shot that's never going to happen. And we don't actually manage to get any damage extra done in this game. And it's really sad. This is a mistake. This is just a mistake that I make in this game. Of thinking that someone was going to cross that gap and no one ever did. And it's an extra 2 minutes of driving. So we finished that game with 7.3k damage, ace tanker, high caliber, 1466 base XP. Really nice game for the FV4005. It's a tank that is a meme. It's not as good as it used to be, but it is what it is. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!